Hello, this is Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com, and today we're doing our shaky cam interior review inside a 2019 Land Rover Discovery. Wow, I like these things. Big off-road luxury rig, very, very well done. This one in particular has the diesel model. I would highly recommend the diesel. Very highly recommend that. I like this setup. It's very, very well done. So let's just get going. I'm not gonna belabor the point that this is an awesome vehicle. So we'll start down here. You can see the seat memory here. Door locks are right there. Here's the door handle, and then up here on the sill, this is my only complaint because I really don't like this kind of placement for these things. Here's the windows and the mirrors. This lock was sort of a British thing, maybe European, but mostly British. This locks both the windows and engages child locks on the back door. All right, I had to cut there. Had distractions from kids. Back to it. So this engages both the rear door and the windows. So this engages the child protection locks in the back. This is the mirrors and stuff. Not sure if I need to show you anything else on that. Over here is the rear hatch opening. Down here is, you pop this out. That's what I'm looking for. You pop that out and there's the dimmers. First of the vents right there, you can see. Down here, this is kind of just an empty hole. I don't know what you do with it. You could throw something in there, but it's not rubber lined, so it will probably slide out. And way down there, if I can see it, there you go. Way down there is the hood release. It's a big old handle though, so you grab it and roll. And that's about all there is to show you down in that way. So let's jump to the steering wheel, because some of these controls, they seem complicated until you've used them, then they're not so bad. So right here, this is the cruise control stuff. Pretty straightforward. I don't think I need to show you anything on that. This is the cancel button. This is the lane keeping button. This has lane keep assist as well as alerts, departure alert. This is the steering wheel heat, and this is the limiter, which is kind of it's a Land Rover thing. Jaguar Land Rover tends to do this. So it's sort of like a cruise control in reverse. So in other words, you can set a limit where it will not go faster than that. And you can tune it towards, say, the local speed limit or whatever, and it will not go past that unless you override it, which you can do with double shove of the accelerator or by just pushing that button. Over here, this is, see if I can get a better view of it. There's a little bit of glare. This piano black tends to reflect. All right, so over here is, you can see volume here, track movement there, and menu. So what menu does is it moves you to the driver information screen menu, and then you see this changes. So now that's how you're controlling that menu. When you're done with it, you can cancel out several different ways, or just wait and you see there it just jumped back when it was done. Here's your telematics. For telephone, voice control here. Voice control in this is pretty good. I like the infotainment. My only complaint with Jaguar Land Rover infotainment is that it tends to be fairly simplistic. Other than that, most everything is easy to get to, and I'll show you some of that stuff when we get to it. And then this right here, you can shove that, and now you can hear music came on, music shut off. It goes to your first favorite channel, by the way, so it cuts off whatever you have the channel already on, which is weird. You can, I think you can change that in the infotainment menus. I have not tried, but I would assume you can. So I'll just say that I assume you can. How's that? Here you can see a paddle shifter. Right here you see a lot of lighting controls. So hard, there we go, that'll work. So you can see it's on auto now. You can do all these settings, and then this will bring up information on that screen over there. Down here's fog lamps, and then you have your signal turns and so forth. Over on this dongle, here you have the rear. Here you have the front, up and down, and then the speed. See? So you can put it on like the minimum speed like that, or whatever. If it's on auto, that's how sensitive it will be. If it's on any of the other settings, that's how fast they will be. Push this for the rear wash, and then push this whole thing, pull the whole thing forward, I mean to say, for the front washers. There you go, that's it. Now, let's look at this instrument cluster. All virtual, so you'll notice that it's all virtual. There's no hard gauges. This over here is your speed. Over here is tachometer. There's your gearing if you're in manual shifting. So you saw the paddle shifters, you can use that to go to manual. Then it will show the gear you're shifting in. Also shows, I'll just shift really quick. Also shows, there you go. So you see I'm in drive 2. So there you go. That's what happens when you use the manual shifter. Or when you're driving, then it goes into a gear accordingly, and it shows. Focus, please. Jeez. Down there's a fuel gauge. Over there's the engine heat. And other than that, it's all indicators. So up here, you're seeing the engine stop-start is active. Down here, you're seeing the park we're in park, so it is parked, is what that means. It also means the park sensors are active. That's actually what that means. There's park. Up there, that means the parking brake. And then you can see some other stuff. You can see the temperature and all of that. And then here's the menu. So let me get in that menu again. All right, so here you can see a lot of stuff. This mostly applies to what's showing on this screen right here. You can go down, you can make changes and do things to it. Over here is the head-up display. This has a head-up display. You change it by going through this menu. Here's a kind of a vehicle menu, so you can do a lot of things on the vehicle itself for lighting and so forth. Here's stuff you might want to see in your vehicle information display and so on. So you kind of see what everything is. Here's where you can do the driver assistance stuff and etc. So I'm just going to let it go back to what it was doing. Really useful menus in there if you fiddle around with them. So if you have one of these, or you spend a bunch of time in one of these, go through those menus and personalize things a little bit. Because I have a head-up display showing me my live speed and what things are set, like lane keeping and so on, I don't need that on this screen. So I've been doing fuel economy and trip metering instead, just because for me personally that's useful because of what I do. Other people might want to see like vehicle dynamics and stuff. When I was off-road, I was watching the off-road screens. You can see a G meter and your pitch and yaw and so forth. They're really cool. So moving along, here's your engine start stop. Here is the infotainment screen. You can see some more vents, and I've totally spaced on turning off the climate, so it's probably blowing right in the microphone. I'll fix that. Fixed. Done. Okay. Over here, this is sort of like the menu, so if you push that menu button, you'll end up with this, and you get to choose a menu, right? This is the default. The other menus are similar, just have more stuff on them. So this is more like all the apps and features, and there's a lot of them. See? And so you can see how I'm flipping through, right? And there's a ton of stuff you can do in here. Over here's how you set up a phone, for instance. Over here is where you do the seats. So I want to show you this because it's cool. So I can turn on seat coolers right here, right? And then if the passenger wants them, ditto. Say the back seats, ta-da, ta-da, right? Really cool. And I've turned them all off because they are kind of loud. And that's just one of the things. It's got massage, you can see that. There's some massage settings. It uses airbags, which is great. And then over here, I haven't tried to get rid of this, but this has been the CNN top news story for like the whole week I've had this, which is lame. So I don't know how this updates, but it doesn't update well. That's all I can say. You know, if I do that, it doesn't change. See? Unable to connect. There's the problem. So anyway, really annoying on that. But, so back to the main. You can see what's going on. You got navigation, you got phone, and down here you have more of the same. Here's music. Here's the seating, so you can go to the seats that same way right there. And here's your cameras, so you can see what's going on around the car. And then you can double tap to zoom, right? So I want to look more here. You can do a lot of cool stuff with this, which is really neat. This is showing if your parking radar is on or off. I don't know why it's showing it off, because it wasn't showing it as off, because it was going off. It's probably because I'm in park, actually. Yeah, there you go. Because I was in park, it shuts them off. So that makes sense. If something comes around the car while you're parked, you don't really need to have the stuff going off. That's about what there is. Here's the parking radar here, and here is the self-parking. So you can parallel park with this using that. It does a phenomenal job. It's really good at it. Down here we have the climate controls. So to turn it off, I just pushed that, right? So I have it on auto, which you can set here and here for each side. And then I just push that again to turn it off. Excuse me. The rest of it is pretty self-explanatory, I believe. I don't think I need to tell you what any of this stuff is. This is the volume and also the on-off button for the stereo up there. And then I want to show you this. Blum. So this is a neat little cubby. It's got the CD player is inside. You can see it there. And also just a good spot to put a phone. So I'll show you. I have a dummy phone now. Like, see? Yeah, I'm getting more complicated. So you can throw a phone in there, MP3 player, something else. And this is actually a smartwatch. I'll have a video that shows you how this works. But it's pretty cool. You can wear this to lock and unlock the car, and then you can leave your keys in the car when you're at a place like, you know, going out on a lake or something where you don't want to have the key fob run the chance of getting lost or dunked in the water. So pretty cool. Also a good spot to just store that key if you're going to leave it in the car. Down here, another good phone spot. This one's rubber lined. So you can see this phone, which is about standard size, fits just fine. And here is the first of the 12-volt plugs, and that's all. There are no other plugs in here, but it goes back pretty far. It's a good size one. Down here you see the shifter. So I want to show you something. This is one of my favorite things because I love Jaguar Land Rover for this. So I shut it off and it goes down, right? It goes away. I start the car back up. Good day, Mr. Bond. I love that. It's the dumb gimmicks like that make me happy. So you can see it's just a rotary shift. Over here is drink holders, and they're underneath this bougie cover. Piano black again. Look how reflective that is. Look, you can look at yourself. It's like an infinite loop of looking at yourself. Good sized drink holders. The rubber comes out if you need to wash it. Good sized drink holders. Very, very well done. And then I want to show you these phone holders. So here's one right here. Put the phone in right there. There you go. And here's the better one back here. Put the phone in like that, it's good to go. If your phone's in a case like the one I'm holding and filming with is, it will fit in there easily as well. Fits in there better, actually. They probably thought of that. That's the sort of thing that interior designers think about, right? It's their job. Here is your off-road controls. So you push this to bring it up, turns it off of auto. So you saw it was in auto mode. It was automatically doing it. Then you have like regular, you have desert sand, you have off-road, you have, let's see, let me think about this. This is weather, sorry, this is snow and weather. This is off-road, this is sandy desert off-road, this is rock mode, raises the suspension all the way, so you can see how you can do that manually here. Raises the suspension all the way and a few other things. And then here is low gearing. So when you need to go into low gearing, and hill descent right there. And then you can see traction control, downhill, what's that called? Descent control, that's what I'm looking for. You can toggle the engine stop start right here. Suspension lift is right here. If you hit this twice, it locks and stays in that position. Right now it's in the low position because I'm in regular driving mode around the city, and I like it to lower down so it's easier to get in and out. Here is the park brake. Works in the usual American way. You pull it up to set, push it down to stop, to release. Center console. There's a double side to this. So here's the big version. Here's your plugs. You can see those. Here's a 12 volt there. This is the SD card for the maps. And this big center console, which is very, very deep right here for all your stuff. Then there's a second one. There we go. And this is like a little tray, so you can see I have my cheap sunglasses in here. I'll get those out of the way. It's like a little tray for, you can put a couple phones in here, some other stuff, and the cords can run through to there without being smashed by the lid. Very smart design. I really like it. And you can see where the buttons are to do that. So one and the other, right? This opens both. This opens just the top. So beautiful. And then just looking at the interior, you have a proper glove box, right? So you have a proper glove box. There's a 12 volt in there. And then you have the American style glove box down on the bottom. Nice. Just a pretty interior. It is black on black, and I don't like that. I do like that they did cream up at the top, but otherwise I really don't like that. But I do like that they broke it up. So look at the beautiful wood. It's running across up here. I like the way they broke this a little bit. And then if you're looking out, you can see it looks like it dips down before the hood there, which is another cool little kind of break point visually. You can see the tweeter and the speaker and everything. It's just pretty in here. I love the stitching and the feel of these seats. They're beautiful seats. And the back seat, very good size, nicely done. And then there's a third row behind there. I will show you footage now. Oh, footage of the back row and the third row. It's really nice. Lots of cargo, lots of useful stuff in this. I really like the way this is. It has two different sunroofs in it. Just well done with a great Meridian sound system and everything else. So nicely done, Land Rover. I've always liked the Discovery. I still like it. This is a good vehicle, assuming you have the money to buy it. So there you go. That's what I got. It's been Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com inside the 2019 Land Rover Discovery. Talk to you again soon. Subscribe.